Okay, so here we're getting ready to take this screen off of the iPad Pro. So we want to heat it up, and I like turning it on or leaving it on so that I can see if I'm applying too much heat. You'll see if you apply too much heat, you'll start seeing some black marks where the LCD gets too hot. And this is good if you want to save it for, for recycle. Like if you want to recycle it, they'll pay you for this old screen as long as the LCD and touch still works. So here I'm using my razor blade. So this is sped up, but you have to, take your time on these. You don't want to cut any cables you're not supposed to. So here we go. We added some more heat. So I like to alternate between my razor tool, razor blade, and my thin plastic pick. So I go all around it again with my heat gun. And this is quite a long process here. I didn't want to damage the LCD. I wanted to take it off nicely. So you gotta be careful at the top, because this is a cellular model. So there's some antennas up there you don't want to damage. Just take it easy. The same with the home button. Down there at the home button area, you gotta be very careful. So we'll get to that part in a bit. You have to learn how to use your hands and your fingers to kind of like help you remove the LCD. So here I'm using my fingers, and then there's a point where I stretch my hand out so I can kind of pull from another side of the iPad. And I'm wearing a glove on that hand because you see that's a hot spot right there. If you let it cool down, it'll go back to normal color and it still functions. So this is one of the reasons why I like to leave the screens on, whether it's a iPad Pro or iPad Mini. Right here, we're finally getting to the part where the whole screen is coming off. So I just apply some more heat, and now that more piece of, or a bigger chunk of the screen is lifting, now it's a little bit easier for it all to come out or come off. Still working, everything's still functional, and there it is. We got it open, guys. Here's the home button area now, so I'm going to heat it up some more. And I'm going to help it with the pick. There, you saw that burn mark again. And once you get that bottom part loose, then you really have some more play with it, because those, there you go. So now you can move the screen a little bit more and get some more room to start removing plates and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna turn it off, and then we're gonna start removing that long rectangular plate. So line up the screws over there on the side, you know, the way they're supposed to go, because two of them are longer. Those two last ones that I did at the top, they're longer than the rest. So always line up your screws, and that will come off just with a little prying. You know, make sure you don't short anything out. It'll come off in just a bit. So it was a little tricky to get it out, but it came off. And there it is. Okay, now you see the battery connector. Remove the screw and just stick a pick in there so it's not making any contact. So I try to turn it on and it's perfect. There's no juice going to it. So now let's start removing the LCD plate and unplug the connectors, and there you have it. Make sure there's no extra glass remaining on the frame or anything. Like this camera had a little piece of glue on there, so I made sure I cleaned that. There was something there that was just not sitting right, so I just kind of glued it a little bit. There it is. And that is the old LCD. So we're gonna remove the home button carefully. So you heat it up a little bit, and then with your blade, with my blade, I just kind of shoved it in between that bracket, and it just came off. So there you have it. Some heat really helped, and that's the whole home button connector, which we're gonna connect to the new LCD. Now right here, sometimes you can desolder that and solder it to the new LCD, but I bought the LCD that already has it. Now we're just gonna go ahead and clean all the edges, all the rest of the frame there. Make sure there's no leftover gunk or glue or any dents that are gonna be in the way of the new LCD sitting nicely. So we just do a nice thorough cleaning, getting it ready for the new screen. But before we install the new screen, we're gonna have to install the home button. So we're about to see that in just a bit. Okay, here's the new LCD. As you can see, it already has the connectors soldered onto it. And we're gonna go ahead and install the home button onto this one. So carefully remove all the tapes that it comes with, the little plastic films. And here we go. So I like to use hot glue, you know. And here we're just gonna, actually we're not doing the home button yet. We're gonna test it real quick. Make sure that it's not defective from the supplier. So we'll plug it in. go ahead and plug in the battery, turn it on, make sure everything works. And in this case, everything was fine. There was no pixels missing or the touch. Everything was working fine. There was no spots. So it's good to go. So now that we've tested it, we're going to go ahead and take the battery out again, or unplug it again. Very important. Make sure there's no power going to it. So we checked that already. Cool. Alright, now we can go to install the home button. We don't want to install the home button if it's going to be defective, you know. I shouldn't have taken those tapes off either until I tested it. So, but it's alright. Okay, so here's that home button. I like using hot glue. You'll see me use the hot glue in a lot of my iPad screen replacement videos. So just take a couple little chunks of hot glue, stick them on the home button bracket, and then heat it up so it could get melted, and just apply. And that really helps me take care of the home button, you know, placement. Sometimes glue just doesn't cut it like regular glue. So I learned hot glue tends to work best for me anyway. So I put some Captain tape on there because I'm gonna heat it up a little bit more, or I think I already did. I heated up some more so that hot glue can melt a little more, and I can put some more pressure on that bracket. So I think I already connected the home button, and now I'm gonna add some glue to that rubbery part of the home button so that it's not moving around when the customer, or when the home button is pressed. Be careful not to get glue into the LCD because it'll start bleeding, and you don't want that at all. This is a $345 screen, just the part. I don't think I've connected it yet, so I think I'm going to show you guys there pretty soon. It looks dirty, but it's going to work. Oh yeah, see, I'm melting it now. I decided to use my rework station because it has the smaller tip. There it is. That is not going anywhere. So I was cleaning that connector. There was a little bit of glue, so I just cleaned it. Did I finally? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna connect it now. There you go. It's connected now. And the hard part is done, I think. There were some screws that were missing on the new screen that I just transferred from the old one. And that little tape there too. And the home button connector tape also. Old screen, new screen. I was just seeing how that cable went. So you kind of have to fold it a little bit. And I was comparing the old screen to this new one to see how much the fold had to be. So you see I folded it there. Alright, and there it is. Now we're ready to install, I think. The home button clicks nicely. Okay, and this is our double-sided tape. I'm gonna go ahead and use this clear tape for the sides, and then there's a black tape also that I use. It's called Tessa tape, and it's supposed to be stronger, but I don't know, I have mixed feelings about these two, so I just use a combination of both. I use Tessa tape at the bottom and top, and I use the clear tape on the sides. Okay, we're gonna start peeling our adhesive and start getting ready to put the screen after we connect it and after we put the shields on and the screws. And there we go. I was gonna use that, but I figured I'll just use my hand like a boss. Like I said earlier, you need to learn how to use your hands so you can maneuver your devices and stuff like that. There's that battery already, so we gotta be very careful once that battery's in. And this shield was a little tricky putting it back on, but we were able to put it back on with no problem. Okay, now we're just putting all the screws in. Final screws. And add a little B7000 glue to the corners and set her down. And there it is. It sits nice, sits nicely, nice and snug within the frame. The home button works just fine. I just turned it on here. And we're gonna try the home button. Works fine. Perfectly fine. So here I'm trying my fume extractor just to see if it'll help me eliminate dust particles as I install the screen protector. So this customer wanted a screen protector, and I think the fume extractor kind of helped. I'm not sure, but here I'm just cleaning it real fast before I install the screen protector because it's a very large tempered glass. It's a pretty big screen, guys. Give it a last touch up with some tape. Make sure I get everything off of there. And there it goes. Right away. Bam. Oh, we had one little particle there, which I got rid of with some, I think I have a label maker, and I think I used that just because it's a lot more stiff than just regular tape. So that allows me to go in a little deeper, easier. There you go. And there you have it, guys. That's how you replace the screen on an iPad Pro 12.9 inch 2nd gen. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helps you, and I wish you success with this repair. See you next time.